I just wanted to talk today a little bit about the Mishkan and the Menorah. The Menorah was one of the kelim of the Mishkan, and the way that the Menorah, I know that the women in particular are very into arts and crafts and into projects and doing all types of very creative things. We all know that the women were the ones that brought a tremendous amount of donation to the Beis HaMikdash in order to be able to produce this sanctuary for the housing of Hashem's Shekhinah, and to enable the Bnei Yisrael to do their avodah, do their service to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you'll have this particular appreciation. So the Torah gives instructions on how to produce each one of the kelim. Each one of the vessels of the Mishkan, the Torah tells you how to do it and how it should be made. But one of them is particularly mysterious, and that is the Menorah. The Menorah was... there was a mandate that said that the menorah had to be made out of a kikar, a large solid block of gold, and the only way for you to produce a menorah was to hammer out the branches, the decorative ornamentation of the menorah, and its pedestal all needed to be hammered out of one single block of gold. Miksha te'aseh ha-menorah. The menorah needs to be made out of a hammered out process. And what's most fascinating to Chazal is that the Torah doesn't say Miksha ta'aseh ha-menorah, that the menorah you should make the menorah out of by hammering it out. Rather, the Torah says Miksha te'aseh. The menorah should be made in a terminology, in a passive terminology, that the menorah should be made by it being hammered out. And Chazal tell us something, that Moshe Rabbeinu had a very difficult time making the menorah. It was very hard. Moshe niskashe ba'asiyas ha-menorah. He had a very difficult time, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to him, you know something, Moshe? All you have to do is take the menorah, take the gold, throw it into a fire, and it happens by itself. It's interesting because that's the way the golden calf, the Egel Azov, happened, right? Everybody collected their gold and their jewelry, which happens to be one of the initiatives that the TTT is embarking on now. They like very much. But really, it's true. It's true. Somebody brought this up at the emergency board meeting last night, that there are many people that have a tremendous amount of jewelry, gold jewelry, that's just sitting around, and it's cash for gold. And now there are many of these parties that are going on that people get cash for gold, but many schools have made a cash for gold initiative for the benefit of the school, where the people take this gold, which anyway is sitting in their drawers and has absolutely no use, and nobody would have really taken it and used it to go and buy groceries, and just take it and you put it in a special pouch and you send it into the school, and the school cashes it in and can make thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars. Because sometimes when somebody doesn't know that you have something, you say, you know something, just take it, I don't know what it's worth, I'd rather not know what it's worth. And sometimes you come up with a big mitzvah. But Moshe Rabbeinu threw this gold into the fire and the menorah happened. And the Chassam Sofer says a very interesting thought. I think is most applicable to a Torah group, and a Tehillim group, and an educational group as we have here. And he says that the menorah really represents two things. We all know that the light of the menorah represents Torah. That's Parsha. It says, Kiner mitzvah v'Torah or. That the light of the menorah represents Torah. But the menorah also was a very ornate and detailed piece of art, which had many different beautifications. There were flowers that were carved out of it, and there were decorative balls and knobs and branches, and its pedestal was amazing. Many people get to see a little bit of the Menorah on the Arch of Titus. They have that image of the Romans taking the menorah out of the Beis HaMikdash and bringing it to Rome. Says the Kesaf Sofer that while the light of the menorah may represent Torah and learning of Torah, but all of these niceties represent what we would call derech eretz, what we would call the day-to-day knowledge and mannerisms that a person must have in order to live in the world in which we live. There's many other fields of knowledge that we embark upon, sometimes for parnasa, sometimes just to stimulate our minds. We have a lot of different subjects that people take courses in and get degrees in. And that really is represented by all of these flowers and ornamentations on the menorah. And the Torah wants to send us a very solid message that there are no two separate entities called Torah and Derech Eretz. Torah and Derech Eretz are intertwined and are one and the same. And if somebody thinks that they could learn Torah in one place and acquire their outside knowledge from another place and attach it to the Torah, the message is that that's a very, very dangerous and forbidden type of an activity. We are able to take our Torah and learn so much Chachma and acquire so much Derech Eretz just from delving into what the Torah has and the environment of Torah. That's why we have schools, and in our schools we have a Kodesh department and we have a Chol department. What is the Chol department? The Chol department is consisting of those that appreciate Torah and are able to see that in the Torah there's godless. In the Torah you see that there's a tremendous amount of Chachma. I noticed that the Rebbe's downstairs, when they learn the Parshios of the kosher animals and the non-kosher animals, that's when they go into the science of the animals. That's when they learn about them and they discuss the nature of each animal. I noticed that when they were learning about Avram and Sarah and the Ohel of Avram and Sarah, they went into a whole unit that discussed housing and the way different people live and the way one lives in the desert and the way one lives in the city, just to be able to show that the Chachma is in Torah, and it's not something that we can take from the outside world and attach it onto the menorah. And a lot of us are sitting here and saying, it sounds very nice and very idealistic, but Rabbi, it's just not practical. How can you get it all out of Torah? Where are you going to find the trigonometry? And where are you going to find the arts and the sciences? And the Tzad Sefer says, fascinating enough, that it's not just us that have this question. Moshe Rabbeinu himself had difficulty in understanding how the Torah could be so all-encompassing that everything could be taken and everything could be extrapolated by hammering out the gold of Torah, the gold of the Menorah, and to create this. And for that Hashem said, Hashlichei ol ha'esh. You'll throw it into the fire. We know the fire also represents Torah. Throw it into the fire, that if you throw yourself truly in Torah, l'shem shamayim, in the proper way, in a balanced way, you will see that you will become a beautiful person. It will turn into an entity that contains both Torah and contains Derech Eretz. I think that that's something that all of us are learning in a difficult way. You know, I would say that the fact that this is a Makom Torah, our schools are Makomas HaTorah, but there's Derech Eretz. Derech Eretz says the Rabbeim have to get paid. It says that we have to have facilities in order to make it happen. And many people say, you know what, it's just too difficult. We can't handle it. But what we have seen, and what I think the Jewish people have proven, is that while everybody tried to take away the Gashmias from us, and we've been living in Golas and in exile for so many years, but those that have thrown themselves in Torah and committed themselves to it, they have emerged as in the forefront of those that are perpetuating this lifestyle. They're the menorahs, they're the ones that are the shining light, they're the ones that are representing exactly the menorah of the Midbar. And my bracha to each and every one of you is that if we'll take that lesson of the menorah, we'll take the lesson of the Mishkan, where Hashem says, build me the Mishkan, and I will not only dwell within the Mishkan, but I will dwell b'solcham among you, is to really commit ourselves to the Torah, and to throw our gold, and throw all that's precious to us into that lifestyle of Torah, and we will also have the merit and the zechus to see that all of the beauty and all of the niceties and all of the gashmias and all the derech eretz will emerge, that this will be not only our pride, but it will be a pride for all the world to see.